can holler at me, and hopefully I'll know more. If I know any more next week, I'll let you know. Okay, how are you guys? Good. We hanging in there? Still in sun, huh? What? Reckless?
We're close.
Oh, we're close. Yeah, you are close. Okay, good. Yeah, you are. So hang in there. Hang in there to the finish line. You are almost there. Don't quit now. Okay. Get to the end and then enjoy your summer, no matter what it is, whether you're working or interning or staying here or whatever. Hang in there. Okay. Hang in there in all your classes. If you're missing anything, get it in. I am caught up on grading, aside from what was due last night. I'm completely caught up on grading, or unless you turned it in late, which I noticed some of you did, probably because you saw zeros. Okay, so that gives you some perspective of where you stand in the class, which is why I was trying to catch up here at the end. Okay, so if you're missing anything, you need to get it in ASAP. If I email you in the next few weeks, it's not to say howdy. If I email you, open it and read it right away, because it, like, a file didn't, I think you had one, and I saw your email. Sometimes the file doesn't work. If Canvas hates pages, right? So please, if you use pages, just turn it into a PDF or whatever. Sometimes I can't open the files or whatever, or there's a problem. So if I email you, please pay attention and respond. Okay, I'm reaching out to help you out. Right? It's not just to check in and see how you're doing. Okay, I might, but probably not. If you've had me before, today is a bit of a review, but based on a lot of things that we've talked about in class and the way Dylan came in this morning, I think this is an effective use of time and a good review of where you guys are at in life, and apparently a lot of the shit that is happening in the core in the past several weeks. Okay? So we'll see how much you remember. If you had me for 380, we did this week too, so I doubt you remember any of it, because you don't remember what we did last week. What did we do last week? Good. Perfect. Okay. So, hang in it. All right. Who's got power in your life? Who has power in your life? Who does? You do, Thomas? Okay, why? Okay. Okay. Who else? Huh? CTOs. Why?
Because they dictate what would be the last 3 years of our lives have gone, and the core wise pretty much, and then they can use their rank and status as a CTO to kind of dictate how the last year will go if you are in the last year.
Okay, Alex? Government? How so?
Because they regulate a large portion of our lives.
Okay.
Enforce laws.
Okay, good. What else? Who else? Do they have a lot of direct power?
Not always.
Okay. Who else? Parents? Yes. Agreed. Good. Why?
It's more like indirect.
Can be pretty direct, right? Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. What do you tell them when they ask how school's going? It's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Don't worry about it. Better than what?
Better than my dad. He was on the scope pro for like 3 years, so as long as I pass, I'm good.
Okay. Sounds good. Is anybody afraid of power? People in power, having power? A little bit? Why?
Easy to be corrupted.
Okay. You? Or others? What do you mean?
Just in general, you accept a position of responsibility, and you have the capacity to set the standard and move it around. You've got to be very careful when you do so.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. Did you have your hand up?
I agree.
Ditto.
Yeah, sorry. Power is something that is kind of, it can be really useful and it can be really dangerous.
What do you mean?
So when you get put in a position of power, you now have this freedom to dictate what happens in certain aspects, depending on what position you have or what power you have.
Okay.
It can be
Thanos? So like every Marvel movie ever, right?
Yeah.
Every bad guy. Okay. Who wants power? Nice. Dylan will admit it. Who else? James? Why?
Why wouldn't you?
Why do you want it?
That was the most villain answer I've ever heard.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who don't want power. Okay? Why do you want power?
You can use it for good, evil, however you want it.
Why do you want
Why do
power?
I want it?
Yeah.
So
This is look, this is fair. There's no you're in a safe space. Maybe. Okay? Why? Why do you want power?
so don't get kicked around by stupid people.
Okay, fair enough. That's a perfectly acceptable answer. Dylan? Hold on. Don't lose your thought.
What do I want power?
Yeah.
Be in control, and I don't have to be afraid of someone who does nothing.
Okay. Caitlin?
I think a lot of people confuse wanting power with wanting to be respected. Because, like, there's a big difference in, like, I want power so I can have control, and I want power so people will, like, listen to my opinion or, like, give me their, like, voice in a conversation. Like, a lot of people, when they describe why they want power, it's really just, like, I want to be respected as an individual, my opinion's valued, and I have an opinion, oh, that we can go with that instead of just, like, higher ranking, lower ranking. Like, people just want to be, like, respected and heard, I feel like. But
Okay. Is that what you want?
yeah, I mean, I feel like respect is a whole lot more important than power. You can have power and people won't like you, and they won't follow you because they don't like you. But if they respect you, people are gonna want to work with you on, like, an intrinsic level. Versus if you have power and you're a bad person, people are gonna fundamentally not want to work with you.
Okay. Cool. Josh?
I did a better job explaining this.
All you have to do is raise your hand second and say, I was going to say that. Okay? Perfect. All right. Good. You guys touched on this. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Anybody know who said that?
Is that Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln. President of the United States. Okay. This is what he thought was true for exactly what you guys brought up, corruption. Right? That's exactly what it was. You want to see what they're like, give them power. Who knows? Is the Corps commander? There's a new next year's Corps commander, right? Are they acting differently?
No. Yeah, not much closer.
Different answers, okay? Are they?
Tiny bit.
Maybe, okay. And look, that's just an example. I don't want to pick on it. I don't even know who it is, okay? And I'm not singling not to pick on it. But every time, every single year, that seems to be the case. As soon as someone gets selected in a position of power, they tend to start acting differently, right? It's the example that happens at the Corps. Okay, so there are 6 types that we're going to talk about. And I want you to think about where you see them playing out in your lives and where they will play out, and then what the hell do you do about it? Okay? Coercive power. By the way, don't make slides like this. This is just to help me remember. It's too many words. Okay? And I can post this if you guys want it, because you should know what all of these are. Or who knows? Who knows what coercive power is? Alex?
Do what else.
Using power to manipulate something into doing something you want.
Mm-hmm.
By force, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. What were you going to say, James?
Do it or else.
Do it or else. Exactly. Good use of power? No. Why not?
People think you're a dick.
Yes. Yes, literally, okay? It's forcing somebody to do something against their will or they'll have consequences. Right? Restricted weekends. Right? Take your pick. Is that motivating? Why not, Trent?
Because it's not well, it's motivating in the fact that, like, you don't want a restricted weekend, but it's not. I guess I misunderstood your question. But it's not motivating the fact, like, you're not motivated to get them.
Yeah, is it motivating in a good way? Does it make you want to do it?
Yes, or it makes you want to do the standard,
Okay.
bare minimum,
Okay. Only so you don't get.
in trouble.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Coercive leaders rely on threats, bullying, or else language to motivate those that are beneath them. This usually leads to fear, dissatisfaction, and resentment. Where do you see this playing out in your lives? Everywhere? Huh?
Government.
Government? Okay, fair enough. Okay. How about more locally?
Yeah, that's not what I thought the first answer was going to be.
Yeah. What? What did we say?
Not here. Not here. No.
No? You don't see that here, James? Sure. Okay. Where do you see it playing out? In the outfits, why? How so? Yep.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that work when you were an underclassman? Was it effective?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
I was just talking about this with my rising CL. Oftentimes, to get people to see the benefit of doing something like getting up early, you have to get them to do it for a while before they can recognize it. Because people learn through experience.
Okay. Is it a good experience?
Waking up early and being productive? Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. Is it? Do you agree?
Waking up early?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what your priorities are, honestly.
Okay.
Because it's like, it's a good thing, I would say, generally to wake up early and, like, go work out and stuff, but, like, if you have a test that day and, you know, like, what's more important, like, getting a good night's rest or, like, going on a run? Well, I would say getting a good night's rest, because that's, like, that's been shown,
Mhm.
like, that a good night's rest is the best way to prepare yourself for a test.
Mhm.
But if you have nothing going on that day, you know, it's always good to exercise.
Yeah. Who's not a morning person? And you guys are taking an 8 a.m. class. Why? Drives me insane. Okay. All right. So, are there other ways to do it? Let's find out. Okay. Reward power. Widely. What's reward power? Does anybody know? It's all in there, but anybody use their own words?
Like if you do this, then you get this thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a reward for doing your job, even if it's just your job. All right. So let's say you're at work or your outfit or whatever. Think you had a good week. Okay, and you go buy pizza for everyone. Is that good? Yeah, I'm good. Huh?
Sometimes.
What's funny to me on campus, if it says free food, what is it? If there's free food for an event, what is it? It's always pizza, which is why they don't say free pizza. They just say free food because you guys honestly get sick of pizza. It's always the same crap. Okay. Okay, so you buy your outfit pizza. Everybody's happy, right? Cool, free pizza, thanks, good. What if we do that 5 weeks in a row?
It's old.
It's what?
It's old.
Gets old. Okay, the reward has to change to be useful. You can keep doing it, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, pizza." Well, then, are you still motivated to do the job as well if it's just coming every week? No, it's the same crap. Okay, so it can lose its effectiveness. All right. It's got to have value. All right. So let's say we start with pizza. Good. The next week we get tacos. We're pretty good, right? Then the next week we get steak, right? And then it's lobster and shrimp, and then you have to drop out of college because you don't have any money, right? It has to keep going. But if it can't keep going to the point where it's not having value, right? So you have to be careful in how you use it, right? Can be used to increase morale, all right? High performer, best outfit, all these different things can be useful, right? But it is the second least effective type of power. Right? Yeah, good. Do you guys see this playing out? No? Nobody uses this?
I'm bagging.
Baggins? Yeah. Okay. Ribbons? Right? Things you get for your uniform? Same thing. Okay. Star, whatever. Okay. Legitimate power. Okay. This is in all organizations in some form or fashion. What is legitimate power? Rank. Yeah. This is your CEO. Okay. This is your colonel. This is the boss. This is the person who's in charge. All right. This is what the military uses. Okay. Good or bad? Yeah, you're right. It depends. Okay, literally it depends. Why?
If you get someone that's like effective and it's good, but get someone that sucks.
Yeah, good. Where do you guys see this playing out? Where does this impact you? Huh? Core, how so?
There's some really good CTOs and there's some really shitty CTOs.
Okay, good. Yep. All right. There's someone in charge. That's all it tells you. So it can be bad, right? Can be good, right? But somebody is in charge. If the commandant retires, do they still have legitimate power? No. Why not?
He's not in that position anymore.
Yeah, they're gone. The position stays, the individual does not. If the CEO retires, no legitimate power, right? If the boss retires or leaves or takes another position, it does not go with them, all right? By itself, the power's ability to persuade and convince others is weak, right? It's just a person in the position. It does not mean that they are effective or good leader, right? They're not good at using their power necessarily. However, if we put them with the next three, it can be extremely effective. What's reverent power? Jesus Christ.
It's like respect, basically.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, got the chaplain, okay? This is the person that you follow just because, right? They have it, right? This is the cult of personality. This is the person that you look at and be like, man, I like that individual. I want to follow that individual. For whatever the characteristics are, whatever the role is, or whatever. This is the person that has it. We revere them, okay? This can occur through time if they're successful or having a well-known track record. Some people have it. Are you born a leader?
Depends.
No, why not? Did you say no?
I said, I don't know. I think some people kind of have that personality trait, but it sort
Okay.
of depends on, I don't know. I think it's more so like your upbringing.
Yeah, I will take exactly that. Do you have characteristics of a good leader? Can you have those from just growing up in your environment, family, whatever? Sure. Does that mean you're a good leader? No. If you don't have some of those traits, can you develop them? Yes. How?
By taking Dr. Payne's SOMS class.
Because Brown knows amazing answer. Whatever. Did you guys hear him? Would say it loud and
I
proud.
said by taking Dr. Payne's SOMS class.
Yeah. We make leaders. I
No, it's a
alone.
secret
No. Does the Corps make leaders?
Yes.
No. Why not? You say you do. Says so. Out on the quad, right? We make leaders. Is everybody a leader, Jacob? No. Why not? By the way, they stole that, but.
You have to make an effort and you put into it, or you get out of it what you put into it. So if you're actually like taking the time to like work on yourself and like attempting to be a leader, then yes, the book is.
Okay, I'll take it. You got to develop yourself if you don't have it. Okay? Who likes college football? Jalen Hurts. Who's Jalen Hurts? You remember? No. No?
I don't know players. I just like to watch them.
Okay, fair enough. Who knows? Who's Jalen Hurts?
He was the Alabama quarterback.
Yep.
Bench for Tua.
Yep.
And then he went to Ohio State,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, and now he's on the Eagles.
Yeah. You know where he's from?
I think
He's from Texas. You know where he wanted to go to school? Okay. So, Jalen Hurts, quarterback, now he's in the NFL. So, grows up in Texas, okay? Weightlifter, okay? So, not a terribly big dude, but super strong, right? And as a quarterback, we don't always think that they're really strong. Who's our super jacked quarterback that transferred here from Oklahoma a few years ago? Remember? Huh? Yeah, that dude was yoked. It's like too buff for a quarterback, okay? So Jalen Hurts, okay, grows up in Texas, gets to know Kevin Sumlin, former coach here. Yeah, okay. Since like 8th grade, wanted to come to A&M, all right? Knows Sumlin, loves it. Well, Sumlin gets 2 other quarterbacks come here, Kyler Murray and Kyle Allen, all right? Neither of whom finished here, and Sumlin is no longer here. Okay, he's with me, all right? Hurts goes through this adversity. He's like, well, I want to go to A&M, but they got these other quarterbacks. I guess I'll settle for Alabama, right? So he's pretty good. He's a good player, kind of quiet, right? Goes to Alabama, ends up starting, I think, most of his freshman year, but as a sophomore, he's a starter and wins the national championship, okay? Things are going well for him, right? I can't remember if he won the Heisman or not. I don't think so either, but I think he was a finalist. So he wins the national championship as a sophomore at Alabama. Then Tua Tagovailoa comes in and replaces him as an underclassman. He gets benched. The media is having a field day with this, and they want him to talk about it. And all he'll talk about is the team. Alabama, we're here to win. I'm supporting my quarterback. I'm supporting my teammates. All he does is put on the happy face, all right, whether he was or not. And he probably wasn't. But he comes back, Tua gets hurt, and he gets to start, and he wins another championship. Okay? Now, team effort. It's never just one guy. But he's the leader on the team as a quarterback. Wins another national championship. Okay? But the young guy's still there and going to be healthy next season. So he leaves. And he transfers. And he goes to another school. Okay? Never says a bad word about the other players, the coaches, the university, anything like that. Okay? Goes on, has a very successful year at Oklahoma. Now he's playing in the NFL. I'm watching College Game Day one time, and they said, when he was still in college, Jalen Hurts just has it, natural-born leader. After all he went through, do you think that made him a leader? What? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, he's got some traits there, right? Okay? Athlete, competitive, right? But all of them are on the field. Why would that help, Dylan?
Well, because you went through adversity and you had to exhibit qualities of being a good leader, or else it would have been bad.
Yeah. If he starts trashing everybody and talking shit, does he get another opportunity to play or transfer? Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. Or maybe not to as good of a school or program. Okay? Or to nowhere. Maybe nobody wants him if he's toxic. Okay? All of those things make you who you are. Non-regs. What do they think about cadets? In general, what do they think about y'all? Weird. Yeah, and they're right. What else? Stupid. What? Okay, what else? This is so I love when we have non-regs in here because then they get uncomfortable when I ask this question. What else? Anything else? What do you guys all do in class? Yeah. Okay. All right. You spent 18 years as an individual on this earth before you came to A&M and joined the Corps. Right? Yet they lump all of you into a category. They think all of you are alike and all of you are going to the military. Is that accurate? Yes? Why?
I always get asked that. Like,
Oh, they think that. But is that accurate? Is that how you guys are?
No.
No, of course not. Okay? So it's all part of a development process, hopefully. The cadets love to say what Jacob said. You get out what you put in. I hope so, because not everybody puts a lot in. Okay, informational power. What's informational power?
Controlling the media.
Controlling. Maybe, yeah. Okay, what else?
Owning a library before the internet.
Huh?
Owning a library before the internet.
Owning it wouldn't help, but if you knew the Dewey Decimal System before, or the card catalog before we could look it up online, sure. What else?
Just being smarter than the other person.
Intelligence can help, but more specifically, what about that intelligence? What do you have to have? It's right in the title. You have the info, Alex.
information that other people know.
Yeah, you have the info that others don't.
Insider trading.
Insider trading. I have a friend who's in jail for that right now. I'm not even kidding. It was in the Wall Street Journal. You can look at it. He was a teacher. It's an amazing story.
How much did he get?
I don't know.
Too much?
A lot. A lot. He's a really good friend of mine I've known since we were kids, and he got busted for insider trading. I want to write the book because it's too good of a story.
Is he getting out anytime soon?
I talked to him the other day, a couple weeks ago. You get to have phone calls and stuff like that. I think he got 10 months, but he'll probably be out in six.
How much money did he keep?
I don't know. I really don't. But the government came after him hard. The fact that they caught him was.
So they got him.
I would love to. Honest to goodness, if I can get him down here, I would love to because I want to. Huh? You can find it on in the news, but just you can Google San Francisco teacher busted for insider trading. Don't do it now. You can do it later. What'd you say, Wes?
I'm just surprised they busted him, but not like.
It's really complicated how they caught exactly what he brought up. Okay, it's really complicated how they caught him. but they're watching. They're always watching. But it was literally the information. It's the information that he had. Can't believe that came up. It's phenomenal. All right. It can be positive or negative. We were talking about Hitler last week. Okay. Hitler was masterful with propaganda, or rather, Goebbels was really more so than Hitler. Okay, but masterful with propaganda. But it's having the information or creating it in their case. Right. Does anybody know what Nielsen ratings are? Do you? What's a Nielsen rating?
It's like one of those. I know my stepdad used to do it. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You're like the first cadet who's known what it is.
Oh, it's like one of those. It's like tracking it. Like listens to like what you watch on TV or what
Yeah.
you're listening to, and it tracks it. You
Yes.
Get like $15 a month.
Yes. Okay. So pre-internet. Okay. So we can't actually track how you watch TV unless it's digital. Now we can. So when you watch TV or listen to the radio before, there was no way of actually knowing what was watched or listened to. It was all an estimate and a guess. So Nielsen ratings was something that people subscribed to. They got paid to do it to say what they watched. Okay, I watched MASH or whatever. I watched these TV shows and all the time. Here's the funny part and the hard part. Most people lied. Oh yeah, I watched documentaries. No, you didn't. You're watching soap operas. Okay. So it was hard to track. Now that it's digital with Netflix, what does it do when you finish a series or show? It suggests other things that are similar, right? Because they have the information. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, your Instagram. Okay, if you just like hot chicks and hunting pics, what's on your Instagram? Hot chicks and hunting pics, right? No, stop. That's his whole page. Okay, it's I'm just kidding. Okay, I think I've picked on you before about that, right? But it's the same shit, right? They're going to keep showing it to you, okay? Informational power. They have the information on you, and they're going to use it. Or in the job or whatever, right? So your CTOs, excuse me, we'll get into the next one, okay? Not our CTOs, different kind of CTO, okay? It's a possible use of information by persuading by the numbers or a statistic. Do statistics tell the truth?
No.
It's one of my favorite quotes. Statistics are a precise and logical method for stating a half-truth inaccurately. Why? Math major? Why? What can you do with statistics?
Well, you can make a good prediction on population on statistics.
Yeah, you can.
But would it always be true? No. It's
Why?
not always going to be true.
Why?
Why is it not always going to be true? Because
What can you do to statistics to tell that story?
oh, you can change them.
Why? How?
Well, you can mess up the data, or
Even if you don't mess it up, what can you pull out?
you can pull out
Huh?
like a theory or hypothesis that it is.
You can pull out what you want. Say it again.
You can pull out like a theory or hypothesis that the data does not reflect.
What about variables?
You can put as many variables in there as you want.
And can you remove them if they're outliers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we can take the data, no matter what it says, and we can manipulate it. Right? We can pull out an outlier and say, "Oh, this is not a normal situation." Right? And say, "This is what happens." Well, maybe that is. Okay. Or it impacts. Right? It can be used to measure and improve task processes and strategies. Right? So the information is good, but how you use it is what matters. Expert power. What's expert power?
Coming from expertise,
Expertise. What do you mean?
experience. So like if you're a rock climber or like a rock climber instructor.
Okay.
Equivalent.
Yeah. Okay. Highly skilled. Good. What else? What's expert power? It's pretty simple. Be the expert. Okay? No matter what it is. Hunting, your golf swing, being the physician, all right, who can fix somebody's broken leg, right? It's the expert in that thing, whatever that is. Be the expert. Does anybody ever come to you and ask for help in something specific? They consider you an expert, right? No matter what it is. This is incredibly valued, all right? At work, when you're working, be the expert in something. Be invaluable, right? If you want to create it so that you can't get fired, right? Or nobody throws you out or treats you like crap, or you want to be the expert, okay? Because you have a high level of expertise, they can persuade others to do things for them out of a position of trust and respect. Back to what Caitlin brought up. We look up to experts. Why does Elon Musk have 80 million Twitter followers?
Made Dogecoin go up.
Huh?
Made
Doge.
Coin go up.
Doge. Yeah. Okay, but why did Doge even happen? Why? What do we think about Elon? Most people, I guess you should say everybody.
Meme lord, technological genius.
Yeah, okay, for what he's done with SpaceX, what he's done with Tesla, we consider him an expert in certain things. Makes up Doge, value goes up, simply because he was tied to it, right? Okay. Now, what's happening with him and Twitter is super fascinating right now. If you're not tracking that, it's really interesting, okay? I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen, because I don't know.
You don't even have a prediction, a half-baked prediction.
I don't think I don't think Twitter will give up. I don't think they'll sell to him, is my guess. I really don't. I don't think they'll give up that power. But I don't know.
It's great how big Twitter is, and like how just one guy with that much to say.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. Where do you see expert power? Where does this play out for you guys?
Professors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Professors, hopefully. Some of them. Okay, not so sure. But hopefully they're experts in their field, at least. Doesn't always mean they're great educators, but hopefully they're at least an expert in that field. Okay, where else?
Pilots.
Huh? Pilots, good. Okay, what else?
Doctors,
Yeah, physicians, good. What else?
Seniors.
Huh?
Seniors.
Seniors, okay. Yeah, good. I'll take it. What else? Some of them, right? Where else? Anywhere else? Your parents? Maybe. Hard to believe. How many of you just did your own taxes recently? Did you call your folks? No. Okay. Jamie, yeah. Wes, you good?
Yeah, I use TurboTax.
TurboTax. See, students always bring, we don't know it's TurboTax. This shit does it for you. It's wonderful. Okay? It's like, I think you can probably get a student discount, right?
No, it's free.
Yeah, your guys' taxes are super easy. Okay? Enjoy that while you can. Okay. Bad leaders. What type of power do they use?
Coercive.
What else? Yeah. Okay. So when you see it, say something or do something about it. Now, don't knife hand the CTO. You just use coercive power. You suck. That's not going to go well, unfortunately, probably. I mean, you can pick the fight if you want. I wouldn't recommend it.
Someone's gonna try it.
Justin, my man, more power to you.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, good. What else besides CTOs? Who else?
CEOs.
See? Okay. Anybody had a bad boss? What type of power do they use? What do they use?
Yeah, those types.
Coercive?
Yeah.
Yeah, reward? Good. Okay. Good leaders, what do they use? Trent?
I think they use a little bit of everything.
Probably. Okay. Hopefully not coercive.
Well, I think coercive, to a degree, always needs to be like used. Like you can't have, like for example, in our country, like our laws, that's coercive power. Like, you know, like you.
But
can't,
that's
like,
the
have a
bare
rule saying,
minimum.
Like, well, if you don't kill anyone this year, like, we'll give you a sliced pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you don't get anything for that. You just get to enjoy your freedom. Right?
Yeah, yeah. But there is coercive power. If like, you know, you break the
Yeah.
law, you will go to jail.
Is it effective? Do you still
Yes.
do you still break rules and laws?
Yeah, because the coercive, like the what's wrong is like I want to get me in, like I'm gonna get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like speeding ticket. It's like defensive driving. It takes like 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Or but like you know.
Do you still speed?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
But like if you like murder someone, you know, it's like the rest of your life.
So
So
maybe not.
maybe not.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
big risk.
What the laws are doing, what our law, that's the bare minimum. Like that, you can still be a bad person, right, and not go to jail. Okay, you just didn't kill anyone. Good job. Okay? So, yeah, even if it's coercive and a bit of reward, it's not much of one, right? You're still breaking laws, right, or rules, okay? And the same thing happens in the Corps every day, right? There's rules that you guys break all the time.
So you're basically saying that doesn't work. So how?
It's the least effective.
But
Well, I'm not saying it's the most effective, but I'm saying
Yeah.
if used, it should be like one small part, and then like everything else should be what people strive for.
Wouldn't it be better to have the information or be the expert than to have to coerce people? Wouldn't it be better to be revered?
Oh, I agree, but like that's not going to always work for everybody.
Yeah, for like the stuff that we've like.
But what do you need coercive power for? Like,
UDC turn-ins.
I don't know.
We have to turn in our uniforms by a certain point, or you get RWs, right? It's like there may be an expert.
Right, so it's coercive, but is it? It doesn't mean it's good, right?
But I don't think there's another option. Like, I really don't. Like, how do you get people to not speed or turn in their uniforms on time, and you can't use coercive power? Go ahead and show me how, like,
To me, you should be able to buy or keep your uniforms. I have had people that work there that didn't understand. Look, it's a moneymaker as far as I can tell. I don't understand why you can't keep your uniforms. If you can buy boots, why can't you buy uniforms? I don't understand.
Why they don't clean them before they give it back to us. That's
Well,
all.
It's a small piece of it. But to me, if you wanted to keep a uniform, to me, you should be able to buy one. Wouldn't that be a better resource? Say, okay, I don't want to turn it in. I'm going to buy it.
Wait, but that has nothing to do with, like, their goal is they need all of them in the UDC by Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They have coercively told us you
Mhm.
can get an RW if you don't do it. You're
So
saying
wouldn't it be
that-
better to make it another way? Wouldn't it?
I'm asking for the other, like,
To me, a reward would be better, only slightly, but that's better than coercing you.
Okay, so you can't use either of those, bad leaders.
Huh?
How do
I
you
would
use
not do it for a reward.
It depends on the reward.
Senior boot camp.
If I gave you $1,000, would you do it?
What were the big three?
Maybe. Okay, 1,500.
The big, it was information.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna turn it in.
Informational, reverent, and expert power.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the big
Like, those don't
And
make
the
sense.
khaki expert's not going to convince people to turn it in early.
Okay.
The informational is not likely to be that effective.
But what about the reward?
But that's
Yeah.
one of the bad ones.
Yeah,
It's more effective than coercive, but only by a little.
I don't think it is.
No. Okay. Well, I would say like used together. So let's take the uniform example for okay. So like everyone here said that okay, the Corps, you need to come here in your pants or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna reward you by giving you a bag in. If you come and do it by this date, you'll get a bag in.
So it has to be enough, right? Bag in, not enough for you, Thomas?
But hold on.
Okay.
Most people, I would say 80 to 90%, everyone's gonna be like, hell yeah, that's a bag in, baby, and they're
Okay.
gonna go do it, right?
Okay.
But there's always gonna be like 5 to 10% of people that aren't gonna give a shit.
Yep.
And the RW is what's gonna motivate them. So I think used together, what
Okay.
I'm trying to say is coercive power alone is not. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Correct.
But I'm saying used with something else, it can be very effective.
I wouldn't say very, but it is effective.
Well, that's how you get to 100%.
Yeah, you got your 10 or 20%. Okay. Even if there's 1 in a million, there's 330 of you in this country, right? So even if we get to the small percentage you won't, that's still a lot. That's still a lot of people. Kennedy, hold on. What?
Oh, it wasn't important.
What say?
Well, I was just gonna say the way the UDC turn-ins are, you have your major unit, or not? I think it's your separated by your ROTC is on specific days, and the very last day is like for the extra. And so I said, what I brought up to the person who organized it was, why are you setting these days when you're just ultimately gonna have everybody turn in on this day?
Probably workload for them, I would assume. Because if 2,000 people show up on the same day, it's probably going to be a pain in the butt,
At
right?
first, when it first came out, it was set for if you didn't turn in on this day, like you have a repercussion, but you still got to turn in by Thursday. So you get this,
Yeah.
and you still have to do this.
So there's coercion in there, but it's how much is it effective? No different than reward.
Yeah, but it was taken away now, and you just turn it in.
Yeah. Okay, and it depends. You have to follow through on the consequence. If your parents ever say and give you an empty threat, did your parents ever do that when you were a kid? No. You learned quickly, didn't you? Right? We're gonna go home right now. No, you're not. I'll turn his car around. No, you won't. Okay? You just keep poking your dad in the back of the head. West.
I was just thinking that the example of the UDC isn't a great one just for the sake that it's not like a
probably.
Because the UDC, it's just a function of an organization. It's not a leadership group. It doesn't have leadership capacity. It doesn't, like, you couldn't apply any of the other powers except for coercion and maybe remorse.
Mhm.
UDC, I think you have to be able to apply all of them
Mhm.
in some capacity for it to be an effective
Probably.
person.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, probably so. Okay. What's your default style of leadership? Of getting others to act? Huh?
More like the referent one.
Reverent power? That's yours?
Oh, mine? Oh, that's cool.
He mumbles to his breath. How many of you, when you were fish, couldn't stand the way you were getting treated? Okay. What'd you do as sophomore, Wes?
I kind of let my people alone.
Okay.
I was like, if you're going to do something, like, make sure it's productive and not go crap for this.
Okay, so you came in and acted differently.
Yeah.
Okay. Who did the same shit their sophomores did? Why, Tom? Couldn't wait. Okay, why?
It was fun.
It was fun.
Thomas
Most of
liked being yelled at.
yeah, okay, some of you do. Look, some of you came here for that. I get it. Like, some of you wanted that experience a little bit, all right? At some point, you probably didn't like it, or you didn't like all of it, all right? And you're like, how many of you thought this freshman year, if you'll admit it? I'm not going to do that next year when I'm a sophomore. How many of you thought that? What'd you do, Trent?
I did exactly that.
Okay. Most of you do, all right? Most of you do. Hang with me. Keep taking Toms. It gets real fun and we get in 42 when we talk about that, okay? Yeah. Think about how you act to get others to do things. Are you using coercion? All right? If you're using reward, okay, step in the right direction. Can we be better? All right? Can I use the information I have? Can I be an expert in this? Can I just be revered? And if so, how? All right? That's probably the hardest one. Even if you've got some of those natural traits, right? Not everybody likes you, which is hard and a weird thing to deal with a lot of the time. But it happens. Okay, I've run into it in my career, and I'm awesome and humble. Okay, but I had people that didn't get, and if depending on your personality type, it will bother you. Some of you don't care, which is also good, right? Be careful with that because then people think you don't care, right? But I had people that didn't like me, and that was hard for me to deal with, right? But I've had to learn how to deal with it. Consider what kind of leader you want to be. And what you see playing out on the court. If you want to make it better, if you want to change it, then it's up to you, right? It may not happen overnight, may not happen all at once, right? It may take some time. It may not even happen until after you leave here. Right? But if you want to make an impact and a change, consider how you carry yourself and how you lead. Same thing when you're dealing with CTOs. It seems to be very unhealthy right now, right? For a number of reasons. And it's always contentious, right, between cadets and CTOs. But for whatever reason, right now, things that have happened post-COVID, I don't know. It is unhealthy, right? Just be aware of your part and how you fit in and what you want to do about it. Questions, comments, concerns? What did we learn today?
Power.
Thanks, Spider-Man. Okay, or Uncle Ben. Yeah, yeah. And it's true. Back to what Justin was saying. Do you use it for good or bad? Right? It's how we use it. There million examples of finding corrupt leaders. Right? Wounded Warriors Project, you heard of that? Massive scandal that happened a few years ago. Millions of dollars were donated. Right? And the two up top completely abused it and misappropriated funds. Did massive damage to that organization. Right? There's tons of examples of that happening.
That's most nonprofits.
Huh?
I said that's the most nonprofits. Like I'm pretty
No.
sure.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean,
I've worked for nonprofits for years. That's the minority.
I mean, if you donate $1 to the Red, there's like a website out there that tells you that like calculates how much of a
Correct.
like,
There
every
is.
dollar you donate, and like
Yes.
the Red Cross is like 32 cents.
So yeah, but consider the cost of operation, right? So the A&M Foundation, they bring in enough money and have enough endowments to pay for how they operate. Red Cross has giant floating hospital ships to take care of thousands of people and pay doctors. So you got to consider the operation. But you can do that with your charity and when you donate. But absolutely look at how much goes in. Some of the larger ones, yes, less of what you give goes to the people it's supposed to benefit, but there's a cost of operation. Most nonprofits operate ethically. Most. But most could be 70, 80%, which means 20 or 30 don't, which is a large number. Comments, questions? Cool. For this week's assignment, it is your final. It's the final part of the LDP. It is the part I take most seriously and want you to give it some thought and do a good job. It's the final will, want, won't, right? Put in some thought. It should be multiple paragraphs, right? Not 2 sentences, okay? But put in some thought and effort to that. It is worth more. I will post it today, but put in some thought and effort into your final LDP section. Next week, you can use your phones, but please bring laptops or devices. It'll be much easier. And I'll remind you of that, but please try to bring a device next week. Sound good? Go be awesome. Have a wonderful week.